Hi everyone, Steph here. This is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a reading vlog. So this is going to be my Christmas romance reading vlog. I have a bunch of Christmas romances sitting on my Kindle. I have physical books. I've got stuff on KU. I've got there are so many Christmas books and there's only so much time. So I'm actually starting this vlog in November. It's the middle of November. It's going to go as long as it needs to until I need to edit this video. So I can't tell you how many books are going to feature in this. I'm going to start tonight with A Holly Jolly Christmas by Katie Montinaro. I've had this for ages. I met Katie, she's a Melbourne author. It's super short because, full confession, I have just finished filming a tri-chapter vlog as well. So it's been a busy reading day for me and I just want something short. And then I have a whole bunch of work that I need to do for tomorrow morning, which I haven't done yet, so shh. But the other thing I thought with this vlog, I'm not going to be going to a lot of places, but there are some things I am hoping to do that are seasonally themed. I don't tend to decorate a lot for Christmas. That I'm not that kind of seasonal decorator. I might put out the colourful rainbow tree and put it in the bedroom on the dresser so it's in videos, but I don't think you could even see it last year. But the vlog will feature Christmas books. It will feature some of the things that I'm planning on making as Christmas gifts. Today I've been trying out a granola recipe that's only just come out of the oven, so in a minute I'll show you what it looks like. Spoiler alert, it's delicious. And I'm thinking I might make a fresh batch of that in December to give as gifts, so we shall see. There's some other things I need to do. I need to make some gifts for colleagues, I need to organize gifts for my family. We might be going away over the Christmas period. I've got to prep a lot of videos and content and stuff over that period. So yeah, like this vlog, it's going to be a long-term vlog. I don't think, hang on, where's my video planner? I don't think I have any other vlogs that I need to now film between now and when this one goes up. So this is literally going to be the only ongoing vlogging project that I have. I think everything else is just a straight up video. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy this. I'm going to get started. So I'll show you a clip of the granola in a sec, but then I'm going to be diving into this one while I'm waiting for dinner to cook. So this is Holiday Project 1, which was to do a test batch over this granola, which I saw on Instagram. It has ginger and cranberry in it, cinnamon and ginger, or ground ginger, oh my gosh, words, coconut and oats and nuts and things like that. So it is absolutely delicious. I have done nothing but eat it off the tray since it first came out of the oven. I'm obsessed. Alrighty, so first Christmas book done, Holly Jolly Christmas by Katie Montinaro. This one is the story of Holly. Oh, this is Holly and this is Sean. They're two teachers, they're best friends, and Holly is the daughter of an influencer. Her mum has a blog called Delilahful and is not delightful at all. In fact, I can't stand her mother at all because everything has to be post-worthy, right? And so at the start of the book, Holly turns up at her parents' place and it's all decked out in a white Christmas kind of thing, and all of the family, so Holly and her sister and her brother and her parents, have to sit down and take a photo like it's Christmas because Holly is hosting Christmas this year and her mum doesn't believe that any photos that they take will be worthy of a Delilahful Christmas. So straight away, her mum, not my favorite person ever. Anyway, Holly is trying to set up the perfect Christmas and she's got this idea in her head and Sean is helping her to find all of these things, except every time she goes to get the thing that she needs, there's this random guy who turns up and keeps taking the last of everything that she needs. So she calls him Mr. Christmas Ruiner. Turns out he circles back into the story at the end. It's basically the story of a woman who is just horribly, horribly unlucky when it comes to Christmas and all of those things. She decides to go with a very Australiana Christmas because she lives in Melbourne, it's very hot. In the book, it's one of the really hot Christmases that we get. We don't always get them, but when we get them, man, they're a nightmare. And everything goes wrong, from not being able to get the Christmas tree she wants, not being able to get a fresh turkey, the power goes out, her air conditioning breaks down, everything goes wrong. But she does spend a lot of time with Sean and Sean is working up the courage to tell her that he has feelings for her. It is a closed door romance and it's not very long, but it is super sweet and it was a really fun time. And if you want a Christmas book set in Australia that feels like it's set in Australia at Christmas, it's this book. I'm glad that I read it and I will be back when I decide the next book that I'm going to read. It is the 22nd of November and I'm here to update you on my holiday reads. I have DNF'd a book, finished a book and started a book. Earlier this week, I started reading Mary and Moose Falls by Emily Silver, which was a book that I got through Saxon James's Patreon. So every month she has a book that her patrons get access to, if they would like it, to an early release copy of a book by another author. I was kind of excited by this one because it was a Friends to Lovers forced proximity kind of story, which kind of fit in with some other books that I've read recently that turned out to have that same trope. I read a whole stack of them at once, and this one just didn't work for me. I probably got about 15 to 20% of the way into it, and I just had to put it down. It just wasn't working, which is a shame because it was only 140 pages, so I actually read quite a bit of it. You know, sometimes a book just isn't working, and I couldn't see it improving. So that one was a DNF, but then I picked up Santa's Helper by Shae Sanders, which was delightful. This is a 98-page novella about a newly divorced woman who has 2 kids, but she's about to spend her first Christmas without her children. The story starts and she's taking her kids out to have a photo with Santa, with the only black Santa that is close by, and she's known the man who plays the role of Santa for a very, very long time, but when she gets there she realizes that it's not him, it's his son, and she grew up knowing this guy, and it's their relationship, and it's very steamy, but it's also very sweet because the two reconnect, and her kids are spending the Christmas holidays with her ex-husband and his much bigger extended family. And one thing that I thought this did really well was it explored that idea that she was actually looking forward to a Christmas by herself and having some time when so much of her identity had been being around being a mother. And she talked about it being, well, she feels that guilt, that she feels like she should be feeling guilty and sad that they're away, but she's not. And I think that's a really important message to have, is that women don't have to build up their entire identities around their children, and that it's okay to occasionally want something for yourself. So I thought that was a really cool little part of the story, but mostly it's just them reconnecting and forming a relationship. She does end up dressing up as Mrs. Claus to help him out with the Christmas photos for a while when his regular Mrs. Claus gets sick. So very cool little concept, really fun short story, well worth picking up. And then I've just started reading Deck the Fire Halls by N.R. Walker, which is the next book in the Heartbridge series, which are holiday Christmas novellas about characters who end up moving to this small town, and the running joke is that Cupid quite literally matches people up every time they move to the town. And I've read the other 3 books in the series. I find them just really fun and light and easy reads. They are MM stories, but this one is between a doctor who has recently moved to the town, Rob, who basically was burning himself out at his previous job, and he was ready to walk away from everything until a colleague convinced him to, you know, maybe just take a more chill job as a GP in a small town, and then try that for a while, and then if you still are feeling the same way, then walk away from your career. Because he was working in a hospital and he was just done, which I think is just highly relatable to a lot of people, regardless of whether you're a doctor or not. And his new next door neighbor is a member of the local fire department, and the first time they meet is when Rob goes out to tell Soren off because Soren drives a Harley Davidson and has been revving the engine very early in the morning. But yeah, like, it's so far it's just really fun and sweet, and I think I'm 16% of the way in. I started it this morning when I was on the way into the city. I am going to finish Deck the Fire Halls now. I just want to read. It's Friday, I just want to read. Alright friends, so I finished reading Deck the Fire Halls, and it's just a very sweet, no third act breakup kind of story. The conflict at the end of the book is a house fire that is the house of a friend of the main couple, so it doesn't directly affect them, but it affects them. So that's always nice when there's no third act breakup. It's just sweet. So that was fun, and it's really cute because you've got all the other couples from the previous books, and they do this like a Secret Santa, but a couple's Secret Santa, and it's all Soren's idea. But Hamish, who's one of the other characters from a previous book, instead of saying $10 limit, says handmade gifts only. And so there's some really cool descriptions of some very sweet handmade gifts that they all make for each other. And yeah, just that nice small town, found family kind of vibe thing going on. So I appreciated that. And now I think I need to go to bed, and I will update you the next time I pick up a Christmas book. If we ignore the giant mess that's everywhere, look, there's a Christmas tree. And then Christmas tree too. This one was in the same spot last year. I don't know if you ever spotted it in Christmas videos. Hello. So we are back with the next installment of my Christmas books / novellas. So what I read this afternoon or this evening is the Kite and the Tallowwood Christmas crossover by N.R. Walker. So full confession, when I read this, I had, I've read the Kite and I've read Tallowwood. Like, I knew that this crossover existed, but I couldn't work out how, because I didn't read the original 2 books close enough to see if there was any connection, so I need to do a reread. The Bait also came out, which is the second book in the Milvis File series, so it directly follows on from the Kite, but is still a Kite and Tallowwood crossover. But technically I should have read this first. So I figured I better read it for this vlog. And I did. And it's just fun. Like, I really like these characters. So if you're not familiar with the 2 books, Tallowwood follows a cold case detective and a small town police officer, and it's their romance. They're all queer romantic suspense stories. And The Kite, which is probably the one I need to reread the most. Like, I remember a lot about it, but I think there are things that I need to go back and reread, because The Kite is about 2 hitmen, essentially. And you have a Black Ops Australian operative, and then you have, and his name is Harry, and then you have Asher, who is of European descent, but even he doesn't really know his origins. And the story is basically about Harry's identity being burned, and he becomes a Kite, and it's about them working together. So you'd read Tallowwood and the Kite, then you'd read the crossover, and then you'd read the Bait. I will have already spoken about the Bait, and I loved it. And the thing that I really like about, particularly about Harry and Asher, is just the juxtaposition of their characters, because you have Harry, who is this big guy, and he's big and he's imposing and he's grumpy to outsiders. And then you have Asher, he's more effeminate and plays up the fact that he's gay a lot more than Harry does. And often we see that because it's his disguise, like it's how he gets people to underestimate him, when he's actually probably the more dangerous of the 2 of them. They're both very, very dangerous men. But yeah, I've been talking for 4 minutes and I haven't even said what this crossover is about. So it's a crossover of the 2 worlds. Harry and Asher have settled in Australia. They've got new identities. They're, you know, living new lives. They've been living sort of on the outskirts of Tallowwood, sort of in the bush, on their own for the last 2 years. And for Christmas, Harry gets Asher permission to fire a very high-powered sniper rifle at a local gun club gala. And so in order to be able to do that in Australia, there has to be special permits and all of that sort of stuff. And this gets flagged with the local police, Jake and August, who decide to come up and deliver the papers and let them know they've got that, but also just to check them out, because they're a little bit wary about why these guys are applying for special permits to fire a sniper rifle. It's about that, and it's about August and Jake having suspicions that Harry and Asher are not who they say they are, and then having all of that confirmed when Asher is at this target range and he gets bullseyes from all 500, I think it's 500, 1,000 and 2,000 yards. Like, it's just this little quirky, fun little story. Like, there's no plot to it. It's literally setting up the Bait and the connection between these 2 couples. So I enjoyed it because I'm fully invested. I'm looking forward to the next book in the Milvis Files, because I'm just enjoying the characters so much. But the next book will follow slightly different characters because they get the setup in the Bait. I am going to read another book in a little bit. I'm going to read a Beverly Jenkins novella. So I will check in with you in a little bit. Alrighty, so I just finished reading This Christmas Rivalry by Beverly Jenkins, which was a really fun little novella. It's about 116 pages long. A bit less than that because the back material is an excerpt from another one of her books. Anyway, this one is a contemporary enemies to lovers black love romance, and it is between Tash, who has just inherited a semi-pro football team from her grandfather who's passed away, and this is complicated by the fact that Drew, the GM of the team, had been promised the team by her grandfather, who, in a truly spectacular will reading scene, like hands down the funniest will reading scene I have ever read, he basically says, "I know I promised the team to you, Drew, but sorry, I'm giving it to her. But I'm giving you a raise, and if you marry her, I'll give you even more money," which of course they both ignore. It's about the 2 of them finding equilibrium. Drew was Tash's first crush back when she was younger, and he was a professional football player. They're both in their mid to late 30s. They're both very dedicated to making this semi-pro football team, the Freighters, who have not been very good historically, but that's because not enough money has gone into the team. They're both committed to making it the best team possible, and Tash is just one of the most competent characters, male or female. She's very successful in her own right. She's inherited her grandfather's estate, which is a lot of money, and she recognizes that he didn't run this team the way that it should have, but she's always wanted to run a football team, and that's what she sets out to do. And it's delightful. Like, it's just short, and I mean, it's Beverly Jenkins, so the writing is just wonderful. The characterization is on point, and competent female characters and male characters, but competent female characters, we love to see it. So that was a delight. Hi everyone. It has been a hectic day, but I did just finish another Christmas book, and this was another novella that I had out from KU. It is Mistletoe Motel by Lise, and it is a sapphic holiday romance novella. It is a snowed in, only one bed, forced proximity kind of story. You have Holly, who is a corporate lawyer who is trying to get home for the holidays to see her parents, and they're kind of estranged because she came out to them the previous year and she wants this year to be different and for them to sort of finally address and sort of reclaim what they had before. And also Mac, who is a software engineer. She's trying to get home in time to be there for the birth of her first niece. Her sister is having a baby and she's promised that she would be there. Anyway, the two of them get stuck in a small town and they have to end up sharing a room in the Mistletoe Motel, which goes all out with the holiday decorations. In fact, most of the small town is run by the Mistletoe family, who have various businesses and are all very, very happy matchmakers. Really. This one is just short. I think it's about 146 pages. It's very sweet. It is open door. And I think had I not had the data that I've had, I probably would have enjoyed it more. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it. It was very sweet. It was a lovely, lovely little story. I'm just feeling very weird. I'm not sure I would have loved anything that I read tonight. So the fact that I enjoyed it is a good sign, considering that I don't know what I want to do, because there's a bunch of stuff that's happened since I got home tonight. So I had dinner with Dad tonight. We went out to a local Mexican restaurant, and before that I also went and had my photo taken. I'll pop the photos up on the screen for a community project. I can't remember if I talked about this earlier in the vlog. I was supposed to go last weekend and I wasn't feeling up to it, but I did go this afternoon and it was so fun and just a really good experience, and the photos are lovely. And then ever since I've been home, it's just been a struggle. Like, it's a struggle bus at the minute to do anything, and hopefully tomorrow will be better. I don't know what the lighting is doing. I apologize. This camera is weird. Hello friends, I just read my next Christmas book, which was Christmas Beau by Aislin, which came out yesterday, so around the 29th of November. And it is her book in the second season of the Christmas Falls books, which I read her book in this sort of series. It's an interconnected standalone series last year, mostly because I was obsessively, was it last year or was it this year? I don't even know. Anyway, it was because I was obsessively going through her hockey books. Anyway, this one is only 193 pages long. It's super sweet. It is about Hank, who is a former semi-professional hockey player who didn't have a stellar career. He's the youngest of 4 brothers. His 3 older brothers all had very, very highly successful NHL careers, and he didn't, and that's a bit of a sore point as part of the story. And he's now living in Christmas Falls, which is a really small town. He's the director of hockey, and he is trying to start up a hockey club in the area because their town only has teams for under 14s, and then anyone older than that who wants to pursue hockey has to go to a town an hour away. So he's determined to make this whole thing succeed. And he has this low-key crush on a single dad who has a son who is playing hockey in the town. And Scott is a single dad. He adopted his son, and that story was just awesome, the way that that came about. And his son is 12 and a total firecracker. I absolutely love Teddy. He's probably one of my favorite child characters written in a romance book that I've read this year, because he actually acts age appropriate and is just hilarious. And Scott is a total disaster around Hank as well. He just says things that just causes Teddy to burst out laughing. The whole thing is hilarious. Like, it was an element of the story that I really, really loved. The two of them are kind of reluctant to get in a relationship because Scott used to be a family lawyer, mostly dealing with divorce cases, until he got jaded and burnt out, and he ended up getting fired from his last job for something that was not entirely his fault. And Hank has been burned because he's been married twice, divorced twice, and is just, you know, not interested in a quote-unquote relationship. But they kind of can't help themselves. They end up on some doggy dates because they both have dogs. And yeah, the whole thing is super sweet. There's a whole lot of other stuff that goes on around it. The town is very Christmassy. It's a town called Christmas Falls, so what else would you expect? And also, despite the fact that these are contemporary romance stories, they all start with maps, because all of the places within the town have holiday themed names. And I think I talked about this last year when I read the book that I read for that, whatever it was called. They have maps. Who doesn't love a map in a contemporary romance story? I love this one. It was really fun. I'm talking really fast. Yeah, that's kind of the theme for today. I am also going to try and make some little mini fruitcakes, but if I do and they turn out good, I will include them in the video.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear, jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree. hugging and kissing, just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, we're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho ho ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake, and then we go skating on the frozen lake, saying...
So I just read Holly Jolly Rebel by Kate Meader, which is in the, oh god, what's this collection called? I can never remember. The Rebel Holidays collection. So there are 3 hockey romances from the Rookie Rebels series in this collection. I just read the last novella, which was like 50 pages long, and in it we're revisiting Theo and Elle, who were a couple from early on in the series, and it's much later. Theo is now in his 40s. He's still playing and he's determined to hang on as long as he possibly can, and then at Christmas time, Elle finds out she's pregnant for the 4th time, totaling 5 children for them. And it just takes them all by surprise because they're not expecting it. But it's sweet. It was really cool to see their kids grown up because, as the author notes say, there's a spin-off series coming with the 2nd generation of the Rookie Rebels, and it will follow Adeline, who is Theo and Elle's daughter, and she is just moving back home after the Christmas season. She's just started college, but she's found out that moving away for it wasn't really her thing. She wants to move home and go to a college closer to home, and it will be her relationship with Lise, who is a new player on the Rookie Rebels team. So very excited about that. I'm going to read another book. I just can't remember what it is, so I'll look that up and then I will update you when I've read it. The second book I read was 'Tis the Season for Release by A.H. Cunningham, which I read this, and honestly it feels like I've read these characters before, and I don't know why, because I don't have any record of reading A.H. Cunningham before. But it feels like I'm missing part of, well, not missing part of the story. I literally feel like I've read their story before. Maybe I have somewhere and it's in an anthology or whatever, but that's just the sense that I got. This is about Monica, who's a conductor, and she's happily married, and she and her husband have a boyfriend of many years, and they also have 2 21-year-old kids. 21-year-old kids? Anyway, they're spending Christmas together for the first time in ages. Monica has been running herself into the ground, obviously suffers from some anxiety and has a panic attack on Paige, and everyone is trying to convince her to literally slow down these holidays. And she does, until, you know, she gets asked to fill in for someone over the Christmas break, and that sparks this panic attack. It's a very short, I think it's like 67 pages, very steamy read. It is a polyamorous relationship, so lots of different combinations on page. This is a really tough one because the whole thing is told from Monica's perspective. She knows she needs to slow down, but she also can't help herself. But also everyone telling her that she needs to slow down, to me that just irritated me, because like, she gets it. And okay, she's not someone who's going to slow down naturally on her own. She does need people around her to support her in doing that. I just don't like it when people tell other people what to do with themselves, because eventually this is going to have to come back to Monica as a character. She's going to have to learn how to say no. People telling her not to do something really drives her up the wall. It also kind of drives me up the wall. So it's that hard one, because as a reader we know she needs to slow down, we know she needs to take a break, and we know that they have her best interests at heart, but also maybe just think about the way that you talk about it. There's still a couple of things that I would like to read for this vlog, so I guess I'll be back when I get around to reading them. So I read another Christmas novella. This one was Kelly Reynolds' new book, which is the 3rd and final book in the Holidays in LA series. It only came out in the last couple of days when I'm filming this. I'm just so glad there was another Kelly Reynolds book out in the world. I didn't realize that I had not been paying attention, so I got very excited. It is called Santa Monica Baby, and it is a second chance neighbors to lovers story. Our main character is Janelle, and she is a lawyer. Think Elle Woods a la Legally Blonde. She's totally awesome, very confident, very knows what she wants. She's running a Christmas charity race of some description, and she ends up being knocked over by Santa on a scooter. And it turns out that it is her neighbor Austin, who she asked out months earlier, and he turned her down. But he turned her down not because he doesn't like her, but because he didn't feel like he was good enough for her. He's a precious, precious bean. Their orbits circle back again, and now it is their turn to, you know, try and find their way to each other. And it was lovely and very steamy, because that's what Kelly Reynolds writes. Highly recommend. It's on KU. go read it. The other thing that I'm going to do is unbox the second marshmallow in my Marshmallow Co thing. I haven't shared this on here. I was going to do shorts and then I decided I don't really want to do shorts because that's annoying. So I'll just show you here. This is from the Marshmallow Co. There's 12 different gourmet marshmallows. The first one was a candy cane flavored marshmallow. All of these marshmallows are dipped in chocolate as well. If the box is to be believed, the new marshmallow today is the lemon meringue, which is up here. Open it up, it's all sealed in plastic. It's lemon meringue. And also because I've been keeping this in the fridge because that's what it recommends to do. And then, you know, let the marshmallows sit for like half an hour after you open them. It means it's not going everywhere because the first one that I opened went everywhere. Had to get the vacuum out. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, this one's a very subtle flavour. I will slowly eat the rest of this throughout the night. And now I've got to make some things for the kids' Christmas gifts. That involves getting the cricket out. I don't really know if I want to do that, but we're at least going to make a start on it. The lighting is absolutely terrible. But I probably won't film when I come home tonight. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. We have our school Christmas carols night tonight. I just want to show off that I am seasonally dressed with my mistletoe earrings and my poinsettia dress. You're welcome. It is not a Christmas reading day. I'm not reading a Christmas book today, but it is the 6th of December, which means it's time for the 3rd Marshmallow Advent, and my advent calendar from Meader came. So I get to open 6 of those. I know I've talked about this in previous vlogs, but if anyone's new here, I often can't have things mailed directly to my place because we have someone who comes in to my apartment and steals mail. So I often have things sent to my parents' place. So that was only just dropped off this afternoon. So day 3, if we go by the label on the back, is butterscotch. All right, so this is the marshmallow. Tastes caramelly, so I'll finish that later. And now we get to do this stationery unboxing. I pre-ordered this ages ago. Everything's in these cute little wrappers and they've all got numbers on them. Okay, so I need 1, 2, 6, 4, 3, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh, I suppose I should do the other advent calendar too. Where did I put it? It's my sticky calendar. Alrighty, since I've already pulled out the ones from Mochi Bujo, let's go with number 1, which I'm assuming will be a sticker sheet. So pretty. Look at that. Okay. Number 2 feels like a washi. I do not have any of Heather's washi yet, so this is exciting. Oh, it's even wrapped. Okay, so it's called A Beautiful Story. Oh, is this a text washi? Please be a text washi. It is. Oh my gosh. Look at it. Oh my gosh. That's so pretty. Day 3. I'm assuming another sticker sheet since it's very flat. Sticking with the blue theme. Look at all these blue bows. There we go. So pretty. This is day 4. Started opening it before I showed you the envelope. Oh, is this a die cut sticker? That's pretty. Is that a persimmon? Looks like it. Day 5. Another sticker sheet. Journaling labels. That's cute. And number 6 is rectangular-ish. It's a stamp. It's a stamp. So this is the name of Heather's store. It's so pretty. It says, a motivating force, something that gives you a sense of purpose or a reason for living, something that brings fulfillment. That is freaking adorable. All right, so that's everything for the first 6 days. I think I'm actually just gonna keep them in the advent calendar for now. And then there is my sticker collection. Did I show you these? I can't remember. Let's just do all of them. So it comes with this awesome hardback folder, then there's little envelopes, they're all numbered. Let's just use the back of this. That's day 1 stickers, day 2 stickers, day 3 stickers are tiny little cats. I love those cats so much. More on that space theme. I love this pastel space with holographic gold on it, really, which I think I forgot to open yesterday because I was dead tired. Little plant stickers. And day 6 is super shiny. It's little brains. This looks like a mental health kind of sticker sheet, which, I mean, always appreciative. Let's have some happy brains. And those are the advent calendars for today. So I will update you the next time I'm reading a book. So see you then. Good morning, friends. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. I literally got out of bed to sign up for Kate Canterbury's ARC for her new book. It's coming out in February. So I sound like I've been asleep. I have bed hair. While I'm here, we might as well do the advent calendars, right? So it is the 7th. So in the sticky calendar, all these are pretty. Let's see if I can pop them here. Are they dragon bookshelves? Well, they're dragon shelves. I don't know if they've got books on them. but they're on a clear sticker. So they're very pretty. And from Mochi Bucho, another sticker sheet. I'm imagining, oh cool. There we go. So it's a blue theme. I don't actually use a lot of blue in my journals. I've just realized 2025 will be the year where I use some blue because I'll have blue things. All right, so I'm going to go get ready to do a little bit of filming this morning. I've also got to wrap some Christmas presents and things like that, and also have to catch up with some friends. So I will bring you along when I can. I have read another book for this vlog. It is All You Want for the Holidays by Quinton Lee, which is part of an interconnected standalone anthology of queer holiday romances. And this one is, as I said, by Quinton Lee, who is an Australian non-binary author. And this is a sapphic holiday romance set just outside of Melbourne at a creative retreat where a photographer, Perrin, and a writer, Inari, are selected to spend a week before Christmas and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day at this retreat. And it's a really exclusive place and they're both really excited to go, but they don't know that they're both going together, and they used to be best friends in high school, and then at the end of high school, Inari basically walked away from the friendship because they were in love with Perrin, but Perrin didn't return their feelings in that way. And so now they're forced into proximity at this retreat and they reconnect and they begin to repair the relationship that they had, and Perrin begins to realize that maybe what she feels for Inari is love, and that's something that she has to learn to identify and talk to Inari about. It's a really sweet little novella. Like, it's a, what is it? I think it's 137 pages or something like that. So it's not super long. I loved the queer representation in here. I thought it was really great. There was a little something about the writing style that I'm not 100% certain on. It was just a little slow for me, but still a perfectly good novella. And I'd be kind of interested in checking out the other books in the series, not at the moment, but just to see what other queer rep is featured in them. And yeah, it was really, really fun. Like, it was absolutely lovely. I think I may read one more book tomorrow and do some Christmas wrapping and all of that sort of thing. So I guess I'll update you when that happens. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday the 8th. I'm not going to be speaking really loud because my throat is really sore and my asthma is really bad. Also, I have no control over the lighting. I could close the blinds, but I actually need the light in here. We are going to do today's advent calendars. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, so we're going to start off with the sticky advent calendar. Sunday the 8th, day 8. 8, that's what we're doing. Day 8. Oh, these are pretty. Okay, so these stickers are actually, I think most of them, all of them are the stickers of the images that are the envelopes, which is really cool. I love these. They're so pretty. All right, let's do the stationery one. Ooh. I feel like this might be a print. Day 8. Oh, it is. Okay, so it's a postcard. So it does match our blue theme with the blue snake. It's very pretty. I like that. That's gorgeous. And because it's an even day, we get to open another marshmallow. So we would be on day 4, which is birthday cake. I see sprinkles. So that's what it looks like. I'm assuming it's going to be like vanilla with sprinkles. I was worried that one was going to be super sweet, but it's just like a regular vanilla marshmallow, so excellent. I'm going to pop this in the fridge and finish eating it later because they are giant marshmallows. I've got some editing to do today. I might do some reading a little bit later. I'm going to another catch up with friends and hopefully get my voice back because I need to keep this together until at least the end of Tuesday. After Tuesday, I can be sick. That is the life of a teacher at the end of the year.
Every friendly face, and later we warm up by the fireplace. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Merry Christmas.
Okay. Hi, it is Monday the 9th of December. It has been a very, very weird kind of day. And tomorrow we have Meet the Teacher, which is when I meet my class for next year. They meet me. It's a whole thing. So it's just a very weird kind of week. We still have, you know, another week after this to go. I wanted to check in because I read another novella, and I think I said it in the last clip that this would be the last book. It's actually not going to be the last book. The last book I'm going to read tomorrow, and that means I will also wrap up my Advent unboxings for this video tomorrow on day 10. Just, that's a nice round number, right? Anyway, I read All I Want for Christmas by Lily S. Flowers, which is a short FFM Black Love Christmas novella. It's 64 pages long. Honestly, this one was pretty good. Our main character and our perspective character is Gem, or Gemini. She walks in on her partner cheating on her and she kicks him out straight away. She's very unafraid to say what she's thinking. She kicks him out straight away, and then while she's out shopping for Christmas presents, she runs into her college roommate, Ella, and the two of them were always really, really close. After talking to Ella about this breakup, Ella suggests that she come and spend a week after Christmas with Ella and one of Ella's friends in New York. And so that's where this poly relationship starts. It is short, it is to the point, it's very steamy, and it was great. So highly recommend that one. Let's do some advent calendars. There's no marshmallow today. We'll open that one tomorrow. That's number 9's envelope, and I don't know how well this will come out, but they're all, hang on, let's see if this will focus on this. I don't know how well you can see that. Anyway, they're all little crabs. So that's very summery. Let's see if this camera will refocus on me. Probably not. And then the stationery advent calendar, day 9. You're lucky, I almost opened this when I got home because I just felt like I needed the treat, but I didn't. I restrained myself. All right, so they are little planner number stickers from 1 to 31 in the blue and the orange, which are the colors for this seasonal advent calendar theme, which is great. Okie dokie. I think what I'm going to do for the rest of tonight, I'm not going to read any more Christmas novellas. I've got a bit of YouTube to watch. Then I am going to wrap some Christmas gifts. So I will try and remember to turn the camera on. And while I do that, I'm actually currently listening to the audiobook for Funny Story by Emily Henry because it came in on my Libby hold. So I just figured, why not? Let's just read it now. I also need to find my friction pens because I've been using them in this and I can't find them anywhere. And there's something that I wanted to add to it. So I'm going to go on the hunt for them after I finish watching YouTube. Guys, happy Tuesday. It's been a busy day. So I met my cast today for next year. They're lovely. I'm very tired now though. So we're going to do advent calendars and then I'm going to read an Annabeth Albert book because I just need that tonight. So this will probably be the last book. No, it definitely will be the last book for this vlog. I'm calling it after this one. Here is day 10. This is the sticker sheet. And then day 10 from my stationery advent is a die cut sticker. It's a little holographic snake. And then for the marshmallow box, we're up to day 5, which should be strawberry and cream. This is it here in its packaging, strawberries and cream. And now the obligatory taste test. And it's like combining white and pink marshmallows and adding chocolate on top, which means it's delicious. So now I'm going to make some dinner, have a shower, and then I'm going to be reading Deck the Palms by Annabeth Albert. Alrighty, so I just finished Deck the Palms by Annabeth Albert, which is part of her holiday Christmas series of romance books. I think this is the 3rd one. I think I've read the other 2. Anyway, this one is about Nolan and Mary. So Nolan is a New York native who is a musical theatre performer. He has done a lot of things off Broadway and has worked sort of in production of Broadway shows, but he finds himself in Hawaii because his sister-in-law was pregnant and had pregnancy complications and an early birth, and his brother was on deployment. And so he has moved to Hawaii to help her out and to help with his nieces. He's also gotten a job working at the local middle school as a choir teacher and has been given charge of the winter musical performance or the musical festival or something to raise money for the school. And he's been partnered with Mary, who is the industrial arts teacher at the same school. And Mary is a single dad. He has 2 twin boys who are in year 6 and who are part of Nolan's class. Mary is initially skeptical of this guy who is dressed in designer clothes and has come to Hawaii and is teaching, and he's been burnt by his ex-partner, his twins' mother, who has left and isn't really part of their lives because she was a city girl and left, and Mary has kind of resented the fact that she hasn't really had anything to do with the boys in parenting them for their entire life. But he quickly comes to see that Nolan is actually quite genuine. So even though he is a city boy, he comes to the island and is willing to learn and willing to listen and take feedback and try and work within the boundaries that they set. And there's a really lovely note at the start of Annabeth Albert's book where she talked about the research that she did, and she took a trip to Oahu, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but she did talk about how she's writing about a place that has a deep history of colonization, and like the note itself was actually really great because it also then provided a reading resource for people who want to learn more about the history of Hawaii and the colonization and the impact of tourism. And the book, I think, reflects that, and it looks at the people who have moved to Hawaii and who have made it their home and who have made a conscientious effort to be part of the community, and also how the people who live there look at and interact with people who are the tourists. And Nolan is kind of finding his footing as initially a tourist on the island, and he fully acknowledges that. It was a really good book. I think I'm just tired because it took me a lot longer to read it than it probably should have. It was a fairly simple read though. I mean, the complication for them is more just Mary having to trust that Nolan, for reasons, is able to stay on the island past a deadline, and Mary has to trust that he's doing it for the right reasons and he's not just going to get bored and leave later on. But yeah, that's going to wrap up this vlog. I legitimately cannot remember how many books I've read, which books I've read for this vlog. I've read so many books in between all of these. This was a choice. It was a choice. I will put on the screen an overview of all of the books that I've read. I don't know if I'll be able to put them in any kind of order, but anyway, these will be all of the books that I've read for this vlog. And it was fun. And I think it kind of worked out really nice to kind of just read these Christmas books from the middle of November and just intersperse them with everything else rather than trying to read a whole bunch all at the same time. So that worked out in my favor, and I am very, very happy with that. In the comments, if you've read any of these, feel free to chat to me about them down below, or if you have recommendations that I should add to my list either for Christmas in July or for next year, feel free to recommend those down below as well. Otherwise, feel free to leave me any seasonally appropriate emoji of your choice to let me know you're here. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.